Welcome to the channel, Jaden Chase. Now it seems as if the information presented by Rushane Patterson on social media has still not been shared with law enforcement, even though Rushane has retained legal counsel and has had that lawyer contact the police. Hence, the police have launched an investigation to verify the authenticity of the social media interview said to be conducted with a man claiming to be Rushane Patterson, the person of interest in the case of social media personality Anika Townsend, otherwise known as Slickianna. It seems as if Rushane will be presented with new charges, perverting the course of justice for fleeing the island and trying to tell police that somebody else did it. I couldn't hear what him did say, and they will contain the reasoning. Look at this.
I'm free of my life, brother. They receive threats. Receive some threats, you.
But between me, I know between me, but me understand, so the police have your documents, so how comes?
Yeah, those you album me they say that too.
Yeah. Me not put that in it.
They just have to left, brother.
So Saturday I left with you?
Saturday when me see them post up the person them. I'm start go out and my mother start mad out.
But you're definitely are going to the police then though.
Yeah man, you can tell them so me say I'm gonna come in and you talk to me, but me just in fear for my life, want this cooler.
But mine by the time, you know, man, because at the end of the day, well.
Now, law enforcement says, based on the statements made by the man, he fled the island because he was in fear for his life after getting several death threats. Now, the police have stated that they are carrying out their own checks following the release of these statements. Basically, law enforcement has said to date, them not really hear of no threats being made against him. How were threats being made against him? Nobody knew who he was. Basically, when his picture started to circulate social media, he was already booking his flight or already off the island. Who did I give him these death threats? As a matter of fact, to the amount that some have said, the amount of information this individual presented about Anika Townsend, Slickianna, is almost as if him knew her for all her life. Even though him has stayed saying no know her that long. The people are saying it make no sense. He knows some things about her personal life. As if them a long time friend. But him has stayed say him not know her that long. They are not friends from long time days. But so why law enforcement affair say them go do an investigation for confirm the authenticity. Because Papa that try to get him for show him face. Him say him and him say him innocent. Him also say him off the island. The people don't want to see him face to say, alright, this is indeed the individual. And him attack. Remember there was another video with another individual who go live who refused to show him face as well. And Rushane in the interview stated that that video was not done by him. And the voices were different. No, we don't know him actually sound. So we don't know if the first voice was him and if the next voice wasn't, or if the second voice was him and the first voice wasn't. We don't know. Only family could have verified that. And when law enforcement say, them go, verify the authenticity, you understand what they mean? Basically, them go carry the audio to the family and ask the family for him this. Who should them at him? People are still saying though the best move for him after return home and talk to law enforcement about what going on. And it's surprising for say law enforcement I say they want to verify for him this. All of the information he might present, enough with that thing say, he might already tell him liar this. And have him liar tell this to law enforcement. So the facts of law enforcement I say they must go verify. It seems as if the liar has not said anything about this. They've never known either. Very strange. The senseless crime and violence and killings need to stop upon the island. And clearly, the death of Slickianna is a senseless killing. Slickianna was a hard-working, productive Jamaican, a mother. And the fact that law enforcement can't find a motive other than the fact that the master she was last seen with a certain individual. Also a showcase she wasn't somebody out there where make trouble and have problems with the law. She own her own business and I do her thing, which is what we would consider as a productive member of society. We don't know about Rushane. Some say he's from an affluent family. Like people are trying to hint that are some rich people youth. He does, however, have somewhat of a criminal history. Even though as law enforcement state and as he claims, he was never charged and sentenced. But during a situation that took place, he was being investigated for it. And it was a crime against a female. Talk to me in the comment section. Definitely tell me what you think. Basically, people on the streets are still saying that Rushane actions and make him seem guilty. Whether him know, I am no know. As him did state in the interview, it was a family friend or a family member who told him to have a call somebody at the media and give him side of the story. We know for them also recommend that him retain legal counsel. What them should tell him though is that the information him plan to tell the people in the media are information where law enforcement want to investigate the case. These are the individuals who actually investigate the case, not people on social media. So them need to get the information. It's sad to say even though them him liar contact them know if I say them have to go try to verify if I actually him by visiting the family and when they hear the video or whatever the case may be. Clear him name though, him need to talk to law enforcement. Now on to the other stories making headlines today. Now this is definitely a sad situation. The Adelphi police in St. James is investigating the death of a former member of the Jamaica Defence Force. And it is said that, or it is believed that he took his own life. It was revealed that he had sent a video of himself with a piece of rope around his neck to a relative and expressed that he was feeling depressed. The relative recognized his location and hurried to the abandoned family house where Anthony P0lice was found, suspended from the rafters at just 26 years old. Clearly, him not go through something where him family members never even recognize. It was when him send the video and I say him feel depressed, like him gonna do something, where a relative rush after recognizing, say, yo, I death saw him there. But never reached in time. They said that at about 9:30, the police were called to the abandoned building in the community. All we can say is, people, check upon the loved ones from time to time. We know the common saying in Jamaica, "Oh, going, you good?" And somebody does say, "Yo, yeah, we're good, man." But sometimes you have to read the body language. Listen to the tone of voice when people are talking to you. If you really care about people, you really care about them well-being, check upon their mental health. Make sure them actually good when they must say them good. We notice in Jamaica nowadays, the people kind of get distant. People heart kind of harden against them own. And PTSD, which is a very real thing. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a very real thing. But for some reason, in the Jamaican society, it is almost looked at like it is fictional. Not really gossip. People are suffer from trauma. We see it in the inner city. We see it in places where, all heap of violence that take place. But for some reason, mental health are not something people really pay much attention to. These things lead to deep depression. Will push individuals to do things like what you see. All heap of people ask why him do it, why him never do this, why him never do that. And people in their mindset, them feel alone. The most him can do is send the video to the relative and I say, this is how I feel. Some people, being that they would never ever do that, can't really put themselves in the mindset to say how somebody would life that way. Life is a precious blessing. And them would never do it. So them I wonder why somebody else do it. All we can say is check in with the people around you. The people who came say, on the love, rate, and respect. Talk to them, make sure them good. Parents, talk to the youth them too. You them a go through a whole heap of stress and depression. Seeing the way how them parents go through it, the struggles with them face, seeing what go on in a for them generation, along with the distractions and the temptations, the haves and the have-nots. It a way upon for them little mind as well. And we'll see that play out in the schools. And people not talk about it, but even with the KT situation, the student who took the life of the other student is being alleged, not confirmed, that some personal situations did happen with she. And she was being taunted on the school compound. Not specifically by the student who take her life, but just overall in the school. All of different people know the story, hear our business, and them talk about it. And remember, what she was going through did not justify her actions, but it sure will push her to that point. And we can say stress and depression and mental issues are very real issues. And Jamaicans need to be aware of that. Check in upon loved ones. Make sure so them good mentally. And if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe icon, then the bell icon. Of course, you can put it on all. And this is how you know will be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and yes, made available for you right here on the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon. Drop a like and bust a share. Tell a friend, tell them sister and them brother them to check out the channel, check out the reason, and also join the discussion. The comment section up me 24/7. It never lack yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. Now until the reason again, my sentiments for you and yours, of course, when I live, love, and prosper. Stay tuned.